everyone. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome each and every one of you here today. My name is Veronica O'Malley. I am an associate judge here in Lake County. I'm here with my colleague, Circuit Court Judge Michael Nierheim, to serve as the MCs for the 12th annual gathering of United States veterans. Got to get the energy going in this room. Today I stand before you as a person with many family members who have been involved with the military. So Veterans Day is especially emotional and impactful for me. For I am the proud daughter of a father who served in the Korean War with Army. I am the proud sister of a brother who served in the Navy on a frigate during the early 80s. That's our main speaker. I am also the proud mother of a son who was born on Veterans Day 25 years ago. Yes, his birthday is tomorrow. Now, this boy came into the world at 10.5 pounds early, and I fed him. And he grew and he grew and he grew to 6'4", 280 pounds. And despite all the D1 offers he had, he chose to attend the U.S. Military Academy in West Point, New York, to play football. But he stayed and he graduated because he, like all of our veterans here today, heard and answered the call to serve our country so that all of the rest of us in this room could enjoy the freedoms and the opportunities their service created. My son is a first lieutenant. He just came back from deployment in South Korea this past year, and yes, I went and visited him, and it was excellent. He became an expert soldier while in South Korea. If you don't know what that means, look it up. He is now back at his base in Fort Sill, Oklahoma, home of field artillery, where he is training soldiers for battle readiness, and he runs a firing platoon. I am very proud of my son. Well, you should. As I previously said, today marks our 12th gathering of veterans whose personal histories and stories are going to be transcribed today by court reporters and then sent to the Library of Congress to be preserved for eternity. And a copy is going to be provided to each and every one of our interviewees. Our veterans to be interviewed today have served in conflicts since World War II. Our interviewers today are local judges, state's attorneys, public defenders, and local attorneys, some of whom in that group are veterans themselves. They, together with our wonderful, wonderful court reporters, are all volunteering their time because they recognize the importance of this project. So, to get us all in the mood, I am going to invite Daniel August. Where is he? Daniel August? There he is. Oh, they've changed it. Don Tyre from the Lake County State's Attorney's Office to sing our national anthem. I'm going to ask you all to rise. Thank you.
Good morning. Would you please join me in the singing of our national anthem? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wow. Just raise the roof here. Now, I'm going to ask that you stand again because, wow. I'm going to ask that you stand again because I invite the Lake County Young Marines to come forward and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We can all sit down. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Getting our exercise in here today. Fort Sill.
Never in.
Lawton, Oklahoma. Indeed, indeed. Well, this room is just filled with dignitaries, but none of them are here for their own recognition. Instead, they want to keep the spotlight on our honorees. But there is one dignitary here who I am going to now invite to come forward to welcome all of you because he's my boss. But most importantly, he is our chief judge, our fearless chief judge, Mark Levitt.
Veronica's a really hard act to follow, don't you think? But, you know, she's a great master of ceremonies. Thanks, Veronica. Put the mic down. Another reminder that I'm short. Well, it is my honor to come here today to welcome you all. On behalf of the judges of the 19th Judicial Circuit, welcome. It's great to see all of you here. I want to thank all of you, especially the committee, for all the work that they put in to get you all here today. And they also we owe them a great debt of gratitude. So let's give it up for the Veterans History Project Committee. And especially their fearless leader, Judge Charles Smith. But in addition to them, I am really greatly honored to be here today to introduce a former colleague, current friend, and somebody who likes to steal the spotlight any way he can by knocking things over while Judge O'Malley is busy introducing other people. Judge Michael Foos is our guest of honor today. And I want to pay a special welcome to the people that are here with him today to watch their granddad and dad hopefully, not trip again on the way up here. He has several of his grandchildren here. He has 5 grandchildren here. He has Thomas, who's 13, Amelia, who's 11, Sean, who's 9, Adeline, who's 8, Logan, who's 6, running around somewhere, and I'm told that Timmy and Benjamin are at home, but they're still thinking about you. So welcome all of you today to be here. Mike is a graduate of the Illinois Institute of Technology and Chicago-Kent College of Law, where he graduated with honors. And after being admitted to the Illinois Bar in 1977, he began his legal career as a law clerk for Supreme Court Justice Howard Ryan. He later served in the McHenry County State's Attorney's Office and then the Lake County State's Attorney's Office, and in 1996 he went into private practice. Before joining the bench, Judge Foos notably and honorably served our country as a member of the United States Navy Reserves from 1987 to 2007, retiring with the rank of Lieutenant Commander. He was a target analyst, NCIS agent, counterterrorism analyst, counterterrorism team lead, and he was called to active duty, interrupting his legal career in support of Joint Analysis Center Molesworth for Operations Noble Eagle and Enduring Freedom, serving from November 2002 to July of 2003. If that wasn't enough, Mike was awarded numerous military awards for his service, including the Defense Meritorious Service Medal, the Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal, the Joint Meritorious Unit Award Ribbon, 2 National Defense Service Medals, the Armed Forces Reserve Medal with Bronze Hourglass and M device, Rifle Marksmanship Medal, expert, Pistol Shot Marksmanship Medal, expert, and after that, Judge Foos began his real career when he began serving as a judge in the 19th Judicial Circuit, where he served for 15 years, from 2004 until his retirement in late 2019. He's one of the driving forces behind the success and enthusiasm of this event in Lake County, and since the 19th Judicial Circuit's inaugural Liberty of Congress Veterans History Project program in 2012, approximately 230 veterans have participated in these proceedings. However you refer to Mike, Dad, Grandpa, Lieutenant Commander, or Judge Foos, please thank him for his service to our country, thank him for his service to the people of Lake County, and thank him for the tireless efforts he made to bring and ensure the continuance of the Liberty of Congress Veteran History Project here in Lake County. Without further ado, Judge Michael Foos.
Thank you very much, Chief. My check's in the mail, by the way. Welcome to everyone. I'm very honored to be here today. Speaking to the veterans in particular, each of you is forever a member of what is becoming a rare and unique fraternity. Less than 7% of our fellow citizens either serve or have served in the United States Armed Forces. Whatever you did, wherever you served, whether you manned a rifle on a front line, or a desk, or drove a truck, or loaded supplies, or manned a checkpoint, your sacrifices and contributions are important, they are appreciated, and I thank you on behalf of a grateful nation. Like millions of Americans before you, you did what your country, what we, your fellow Americans, ask you to do, and I thank you. For the rest of your lives, you can proudly say, I'm a military veteran. I served in the Armed Forces of the United States, and that itself carries an awful lot of credibility with a lot of people. We're all part of the American team, no matter what part we play. Our country depends on us to follow the laws, to make this a better community and a better country, to teach and help our fellow citizens, to pick up and carry our share of the load. Now, some people don't understand this responsibility we have. Some people never learn this. They only look out for themselves. And while you don't have to have served in the armed forces to know this, everyone who has served in the military, as you folks have, knows how important it is to be a reliable member of the team. You carry that sense of responsibility with you like a badge of honor forever. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention today is an important day for the Marine Corps. It's their birthday, I believe. We have a number of Marines here, although I'm told it only takes one Marine for every 20 or 30 sailors or soldiers. I have to also mention I'm very proud of the fact that I had two sons who took the responsibility of joining the military. To my chagrin, one of them joined the Army, and Hua, yeah, I'm told Hua, and the other joined the Marines. He's here today, my son Joe. Hoorah! Now, unlike Memorial Day, which is specifically intended to honor and remember those who died in the service of our country, Veterans Day is a day when we honor and thank everyone who served in the military, living and dead, whether in wartime or in peace. We want to acknowledge that their contributions to our national security are appreciated, and to underscore the fact that all those who served have sacrificed and done their duty. But sometimes in the hustle and bustle of our everyday life, we need to be reminded of our veterans' sacrifices, all of their sacrifices. Courage, according to G.K. Chesterton, is almost a contradiction in terms. It means a strong desire to live, taking the form of a readiness to die. Jose N. Harris, an Army Ranger and Special Forces medic, wrote in his book, Mi Vida, a veteran is someone who at one point in their life wrote a blank check payable to the United States of America for an amount up to and including their life. Regardless of personal or political views, there are too many people in this country who no longer remember that. While serving as a judge, I presided over both criminal and civil jury trials, and in my remarks to potential jurors, many of whom were nervous or reluctant to serve, I always asked if there were any veterans in the group, and I acknowledged who they served with and how long they served. I then reminded the other potential jurors that compared to the many years of service given by our veterans, serving on a jury for a couple days or maybe a week was a relatively small sacrifice to pay for the open system of justice we have and for the freedoms we have in our country. I also pointed out, this is some time ago, that more than 25 of our fellow Lake County citizens had been killed in combat operations just since September 11, 2001. While we were only asking them to give us a few days or a week of their time, many of our fellow Lake County citizens were currently serving in combat operations around the world. I felt that helped to put their jury service in the proper perspective. I didn't get a lot of complaints after that. Let me talk just a minute about something relatively personal. November 11th used to be known as Armistice Day to commemorate the end of World War I in Europe. At our house, it was also known as Dad's birthday. My father was born in Chicago November 11th, 1925, to two immigrants from Europe. He only spoke German till he was 5 years old, and as far as I knew, he led a pretty normal life growing up, except he took up the accordion. But when they say when you die and go to heaven, St. Peter gives you a harp. When you die and go to hell, the devil gives you an accordion. But when he graduated Lane Tech High School in the middle of World War II, he volunteered to join the Navy at the age of 17. And here he was, a kid from Chicago. He was sent to Navy boot camp out at Farragut, Idaho, up in the North Woods. That sounds like a great place to train sailors, doesn't it? After later being trained as a .50 caliber gunner on a PBM-5 Mariner, a long-range patrol seaplane, my father and his crew were sent to the island of Peleliu near the Philippines. That was after it was secured by the Marines, URA, and the Army. Now, my father was a city kid who'd never been on an airplane before. He'd never been out of the Midwest, but he essentially said, as all of you did, put me in wherever you need me. Be careful what you ask for, right? After the war, he came back to Chicago, married my mother, raised 4 children, went back to work in the factory, Schwinn Bicycles, for 48 years, and after a long life, 49 years in the only house he ever owned, he passed away in 2009. But he never really talked about his Navy service, why he joined the Navy, what he did in the Navy, or his experiences during 3 years of active duty. As a result, all we know about his time in the Navy is what we can kind of glean from the photos and memorabilia. He was a member of Combat Air Crew 30A. They were trained at NAS Pensacola and NAS Banana River down in Florida, sent to the South Pacific, and he was discharged in '46. I think he was probably typical of a lot of World War II vets. He didn't see combat, he just served and went where he was told to go, did what he was told to do, and never saw himself as a hero. But He was part of that great American war effort, the Greatest Generation, like millions of other citizens who served, who did what they're asked to do, like each of you veterans did. You went where you were told and did what you were told to do. But I'm always going to regret the fact I never got a chance to really talk to him about his Navy experiences. And now his part in American history is lost forever. Why am I telling you this? Because your own military service, your sacrifices, and your contributions, whatever you did in the military, is an important part not only of your personal history, but of America's history. Your histories aren't yet written, but to the extent that today you can pass on to future generations what you did, what you learned from your service, your own stories in America's history will be even better. This Veterans History Project, established by the Act of Congress, is intended to make sure the story of your contributions and your sacrifices are preserved before they're lost forever. Now, for some of you, it may not be very easy to tell these stories, but it's important that future generations know about the sacrifices you and your comrades, especially those that are no longer with us, did in the service of our country. We also can't forget today, of all days, those who didn't make it home. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. His quote from the Bible, chapter 15, verse 13 of John, could be inscribed over the graves of any of the more than 1 million Americans who've lost their lives serving in the armed forces of the United States since the American Revolution. It is, in fact, the inscription on the tombstone of the son of a friend of mine, Captain Shane Mahaffey, United States Army from Gurnee, Illinois. Shane, who practiced in this very courthouse as a lawyer, was called back into active duty from the inactive Ready Reserve in 2006. After refresher training at Fort Jackson, he was sent to Iraq, and his convoy was mortally wounded. He was mortally wounded only weeks after arriving when his convoy was hit by an IED. He died at an American military hospital in Landstuhl, Germany on May 15, 2006, leaving behind his wife, his 2 young children, and his parents and siblings. He's now buried at Ascension Cemetery in Libertyville. He and every other American, Jeffrey Morris, Wesley Wells, among others, some of whom have family members here today, who were killed serving in our armed forces over the years, were each unique individuals. They each had a loving family, friends, they had a history, they had a bright and unlimited future, which was cut short when they were killed serving our country. Every one of them went where we sent them. They did what they were asked to do, they paid for it with their lives, and every one of them is a true American hero. And of course, their deaths are most painfully experienced by the Gold Star families and friends they left behind. Most of us will never truly understand the depths of their loss, but we can offer our support and pledge to remember and honor their fallen heroes. We also help to ensure their sacrifices are not forgotten by placing flags and wreaths at their graves on Memorial Day, by aiding and assisting their families, and by telling their stories, as perhaps you will today. We also honor the fallen when we fulfill our sacred obligation to make sure the physical, financial, and emotional needs of our surviving brothers and sisters are met when they return to us after their service is completed. But there's much more we can do on a daily basis, small things. In the 1998 D-Day movie, Saving Private Ryan, an 8-man squad led by Ranger Captain John H. Miller, played by Tom Hanks, rescued Private James Ryan, Matt Damon, the last surviving brother of 4 brothers who were serving the armed forces in World War II. In doing so, they suffered the loss of 6 of their 8 members, including Captain Miller, who was killed helping to defend a bridge with the last of his men. Captain Miller's last dying words to Private James Ryan, the soldier he and his men saved, were, "James, earn this, earn it." More than 50 years later, James Ryan visited Captain Miller's grave in Normandy with his family, and he said, "Every day I think about what you said to me that day on the bridge. I've tried to live my life the best I could. I hope that was enough. I hope that at least in your eyes I've earned what all of you have done for me." The best way to honor our veterans is by earning their sacrifices, by continuing to serve as examples to our fellow Americans, by living the best, most unselfish lives we can. And on this Veterans Day, let us all rededicate ourselves to our community, to our country, and to our fellow Americans. Let each of us be able to say to our fallen comrades, I hope, at least in your eyes, I've earned what all of you have done for me. Veterans, thank you again for your service. May God bless all of our veterans, living and dead, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Foos. Okay, we're going to get to the reason why we are all here in just a few moments. Now, I do want to just take a minute and thank some people because these events don't just happen. First of all, I want to thank our court reporters who are here on their own time doing their work. So thank you to our court reporters. I want to thank Hero Team 6, the Lake County Bar Foundation, the Lake County Bar Association, the Lake County Public Defender's Office, the Lake County Sheriff's Office, the Lake County State's Attorney's Office, Lake County TV, our Lake County Young Marines, our United States Adult Marines, the Veterans Assistance Commission of Lake County, the Veterans Treatment and Assistance Court, our Marine Corps League folks that are here serving us breakfast this morning. I want to thank the maintenance crew here at the county that helped put this room together and make sure that everything works well, our security team. I want to thank the committee led by Judge Smith, who helped organize this event. And last but not least, as far as on our side of the team, I want to thank somebody who, nothing happens on the court side of this building without Lorena. So I want to thank Lorena as well for her work. And most importantly, I want to thank all of you for coming here today to tell your story. I can only imagine that talking about your story can be difficult, but it's incredibly important. History can be written in an ivory tower, or it can be written by those that lived it. And this is your opportunity to tell your story so it's preserved for history. And we all thank you for coming here today and giving yourself so we can preserve your history. So with that, now I'm going to introduce Daniel August from the State's Attorney's Office to lead us in God Bless America.
Thank you. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, white with storm. God bless America, my home, sweet home.